Have you ever felt that a single, insignificant detail could overturn an entire dynamic without you even noticing it? Like a tiny crack in a foundation, invisible at first, yet capable of bringing down the whole structure? What you're about to discover works exactly the same way. Once you recognize these behaviors, you may realize you've repeated them for years, quietly undermining your own worth. And after this moment of clarity, there is no going back. If what you're hearing resonates with you, consider subscribing and activating notifications so you don't miss the upcoming content. Here are the 9 attitudes a truly self-assured man never adopts. Once you understand them, you will never look at your interactions or her reactions the same way again. You will understand women, of course, but more importantly, you will regain the advantage. So settle in, silence every distraction, and if you stay until the end, I can promise you this. You will never need to chase anyone again. And before we begin, I have a gift for you, a completely free digital book, The Guide to Understanding the Female Mind, revealing the often overlooked mechanisms behind feminine desire. You can download it right now. The link is waiting for you in the description. Chapter 1, Never Over-Explain. If you catch yourself justifying every message, every delay, every decision, stop immediately. A confident man communicates clearly, but he never spends his energy validating his own existence. He knows that every unnecessary explanation chips away at his inner authority and blurs his intention. When a woman asks, "Why didn't you answer right away?" a man of real value does not panic. He doesn't launch into a novel of excuses. He says calmly what needs to be said, or at times he simply chooses silence. That silence is not withdrawal. It is a way of affirming that he has nothing to prove and that his time belongs to him. Too many explanations carry the scent of insecurity. They signal to her that you are seeking her approval, and in that moment, you surrender the dynamic. You stop being perceived as a man who moves with purpose and becomes someone who adjusts himself to preserve another's validation. Mystery fuels attraction, clarity builds trust, but over-justification destroys both. Say what must be said once, with conviction, and then move forward. A man who does not repeat himself shows that he commands his own frame, and that precisely is what inspires respect. Chapter 2, Never Chase. After anyone, pursuit is not the same as running. Pursuit carries direction and intention. Running, on the other hand, is a desperate movement without control, a hurried reaction that places you in a position of inferiority the moment it begins. A centered man never lets himself be pulled into that inner agitation. When you do too much, when you message constantly, when you offer attention she has not earned, you are no longer acting as a confident man, you are hunting. And hunting reveals lack, not presence. It shows that you want to be chosen more than you want to choose. Women test, not out of malice but by nature. They want to see whether you hold your ground or collapse the moment they create a little distance. They watch how you handle uncertainty because it is there that a man's true level of confidence is revealed. If she takes her time to reply, do you double text? If she says she's busy, do you plead for another moment? Each time you chase her, you diminish your own value. You show her that her attention matters more than your calm, more than your direction, more than your dignity. A confident man never runs. He moves forward. He takes initiative when the energy is mutual and steps back effortlessly when it is not. A woman who wants you will show it. A woman who does not show it has already answered, and a man of value always respects that silence as a complete response. Chapter 3, Never Reveal Everything. Too soon you've just met her. The connection is easy, fluid, and suddenly within a few days you're sharing your past, your wounds, your ambitions, your doubts. It may feel deep, but in truth it is dangerous. Opening up too quickly creates an illusion of intimacy, an intimacy without foundation, fragile and unstable. Real intimacy is a dance, not a spotlight shining directly into someone's face. You do not place your soul on the table hoping she will admire it. You reveal fragments slowly, with intention. You show who you are in subtle strokes, the way one reveals pieces of a painting still in progress. When you reveal too much too soon, you turn simplicity into pressure, and pressure never attracts. It creates expectation, weight, something she has not yet chosen to carry. Emotional impatience repels far more than it draws in. Give her the space to wonder, to lean toward you, to earn your story. This sense of mystery is not a game. It is the natural structure of a healthy connection where both move forward at the pace of their own growing trust. And if truths like these resonate with you, remember to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming chapters. Chapter 4. Never try to fix her. She may be unstable, contradictory, at times self-sabotaging, and your first instinct is to become her savior. That is a mistake. The urge to correct what appears broken in her can seem noble, but it is often a disguised attempt to earn her affection or admiration. A grounded man does not step into the role of therapist. He can support, listen, offer presence, but he never takes responsibility for what belongs to her. Because the moment you carry her emotional burden, you rob her of the chance to face herself, to grow on her own. Trying to fix her places you in a parental dynamic that destroys attraction. You shift from partner to authority figure, and from that point on, desire inevitably fades. The balance fractures, and you exhaust yourself in a mission that was never yours to begin with. She does not need to be saved. She needs a man who is rooted, who does not get pulled into her storm. A man who remains steady even when the other person wavers, without trying to shape her according to his expectations. To be stoic does not mean to be cold. It means recognizing what is yours and what is not. It is protecting your center, your energy, and refusing to trade your peace for a role no one can sustain forever. Chapter 5. Never sacrifice your mission for her. This is perhaps the most common mistake. You meet someone, the connection is strong, and slowly your training fades. Your work slows down, your social circle fades away. Your priorities shift without you noticing, as if the relationship suddenly becomes the central axis of your life. Your world begins to revolve around her. She didn't ask for it, and even if she enjoys the attention at first, she will eventually lose respect. Because deep down, every woman feels when a man abandons his own path to walk on hers, and that subtle shift extinguishes the admiration that drew her in from the beginning. An aligned man never trades his mission for a relationship. His mission is vital, like breath. It gives him direction, stability, presence. Without it, he becomes unanchored, dependent, easily thrown off balance by the slightest silence or distance. A woman is drawn to a man who moves forward, not to one who waits for a message. She naturally follows the one who remains committed to what builds him. She is meant to join your path, never replace it. A healthy relationship exists only when each person keeps their own axis. And it is precisely that axis that makes you a man who is desired. Chapter 6. Never compete for her attention. You're at a gathering. She's talking with another man. Your ego tightens. You feel a flicker of fear. And suddenly, you try to win her back with louder jokes, bigger gestures. You become restless, as if the moment demanded a performance. A fatal mistake. Because this reflex reveals something deeper. An insecurity you thought you had mastered, resurfacing under pressure. The very impulse to prove your worth signals that you do not see yourself as her equal. You show without saying a word that her attention is a scarce resource you must fight for, rather than a natural dynamic that emerges on its own. True value does not need to shine more brightly. It is seen effortlessly. It is felt in your posture, in your gaze, in the inner stillness that does not waver with the environment. Let her interact. Let her laugh. Stay centered. When you refuse to enter the competition, you immediately separate yourself from the rest. And it is precisely that calm that makes you unforgettable. A man who does not fight for attention commands presence through stability alone. Chapter 7. Never make her the source of your happiness. If she is the primary cause of your smile, she will sooner or later become the cause of your downfall. Because anything resting on a single pillar collapses at the slightest movement. And in a relationship, movement is inevitable. Too many men build their entire emotional world around a woman. She becomes their light, their peace, their reason. Then she leaves and everything crumbles. Their identity disappears with her, as if their existence had never been their own. This is where regret, dependency, and obsession are born. A grounded man draws his happiness from his own path. He does not depend on a compliment, a message, an ounce of attention. His joy comes from what he creates, what he achieves, what he becomes. When he smiles, it is because his life has meaning, not because someone replied. The more emotionally self-sufficient you are, the more attractive your energy becomes. You radiate a rare stability, an independence that reassures and inspires. A woman can enrich your happiness. She must never be its foundation. If you build yourself first, everything that comes to you becomes a bonus, never a crutch. Chapter 8. You never react emotionally to her tests. She pulls back. She jokes with another man. She subtly critiques your ambitions. She touches exactly where it hurts. All of it guided by instinct, not by conscious strategy. You grow angry, you protest, you doubt yourself, and you lose. Because in most cases, it was only a test. Not a cruel one, but an instinctive one. She wants to see what lies behind your apparent calm, to verify whether your confidence holds under pressure. She wants to feel your stability. She wants to know if you remain anchored when she creates waves. A woman does not test to diminish you, but to measure the solidity of the man standing before her. A confident man does not erupt. He observes, breathes, and responds only when necessary. He does not get pulled into the emotional storm of the moment. He remains in command of his rhythm, his gaze, his energy. When she shakes the surface, your role is to remain the mountain. It is that immovability, that deep, steady calm, that reveals your true value. Chapter 9. Never apologize for your standards. You want loyalty, gentleness, peace. These are not unreasonable demands. They are standards, a reflection of your vision, your journey, and what you are willing to offer in return. Yet some people will try to convince you that you're asking for too much, that you're rigid, that a real man accepts everything. They will try to soften your boundaries so they can cross them more easily, or guilt you for your clarity because it forces them to confront their own inconsistencies. It is false. An aligned man does not demand perfection, but he does demand harmony. If he does not find it, he leaves calmly. He knows that remaining in an environment that does not honor his values always ends up destroying him from within. You must never apologize for wanting a woman who brings value, femininity, serenity. These qualities are not whims. They are the foundation of a relationship that elevates rather than consumes. Your peace has no price. It must be protected. And the man who protects his peace naturally attracts those who respect it. These 9 principles are not about control, but about self-mastery. When you embody them, you don't just change the way you see women, you change the way you see yourself. And from that shift, everything else begins to align naturally.